Very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha Television. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. Well, important legislative breakthroughs were in Parliament yesterday. Well, after an 8-hour debate, the Lok Sabha passed the 4 GST-related bills, while in Rajya Sabha, Finance Bill was passed. Well, those will be our big stories this morning. Those and much more in this bulletin. Let us start with the headlines. Rajya Sabha passes a finance bill with 5 opposition amendments to be taken up in the Lok Sabha today. GST bills passed in Lok Sabha. Finance Minister terms the bills as revolutionary. Opposition calls it anti-taxpayer. PM says new year, new law, new Bharat. Lieutenant Governor asks Delhi Chief Secretary to recover 97 crore rupees from Aam Aadmi Party for government ads projecting Kejriwal and party. Congress and BJP welcome move. Supreme Court bans sale and registration of BS for non-compliant vehicles. Ban in effect from 1st of April. And Saina Nehwal and PV Sindhu enter second round at Indian Open series with comfortable wins in their opening matches. Well, the landmark GST bills have been passed by Lok Sabha. Well, during the debate on the 4 bills introduced earlier by the Finance Minister, Jaitley said that GST implementation will make goods cheaper and ensure free flow of goods and services. He also called it a revolutionary bill that will benefit every section of the society. He reassured the House that the bill would not have any inflationary impact. While calling the move a blow to India's federal structure, the opposition alleged that the GST is against the taxpayer and will promote corruption and price rise.
Lok Sabha began debating the 4 GST bills on Wednesday. Calling the goods and services tax a revolutionary move, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said it will benefit all. Jaitley added that GST compensation law allows for creation of a corpus to compensate states for any loss of revenue in the first 5 years of rollout. He also said the tax rates will be kept at current levels so as not to have any inflationary impact.
और ये compensation fund उन राज्यों को मिल जाएगा जिस राज्य को कोई नुकसान होता है. 5 वर्ष तक ये सेस की व्यवस्था हम लोगों ने रखी है. एक सुझाव ये था कि इसको हम टैक्स के रूप में लाएं. लेकिन अगर टैक्स के रूप में लाते तो ये जीएसटी काउंसिल ने डिस्कस किया तो उपभोक्ता के ऊपर इसका बहुत असर पड़ता. आज तो वो लग्जरी कार पे 40% दे रहा है या सिगरेट पे 65% दे रहा है, तो उसका एक हिस्सा हम लोगों ने सेस के रूप में बांध लिया और मौजूदा कीमतें रहेंगी, इन्फ्लेशनरी इंपैक्ट नहीं होगा.
Earlier, the opposition slammed several provisions of the GST bills. Congress MP Veerappa Moily called it a blow to India's federal structure and a move against taxpayers. TMC's Kalyan Banerjee said that financial autonomy of the states should be protected. AIDMK and BJD too expressed their apprehensions.
This will never be a game changer.
Yes, thanks.
It's only a baby step.
Yes.
And the liability linkages provisions are extremely bad.
Thanks.
There is no provision with the anti-inflationary. The GSTs have been withdrawn in many other countries because of the anti-profiteering, and profiteering is also because of the inflationary measure. I'm afraid that I'm cautioning because tomorrow same fate should not come to India.
There are many challenges for its successful implementation, sir. These are including the getting acceptance from all the stakeholders, the states concerned, the union territories, and most importantly, from the traders and small industry sectors, sir.
These reforms, there are complexities there. State and center together in a federal polity must take appropriate quantum of time which will be sustainable and successful.
Will the prices come down after implementation of this law? That is the basic thing which our people want to know. Therefore, the expectation that has been created because of GST, one nation, one tax, one product, the expectation has grown to the level of the sky. But let there be little bit of caution. It is illusory.
CPIM's Mohammad Salim said that this will lead to a greater financial chasm between rural and urban India. SP Chief Mulayam Singh Yadav reminded the government to fulfill promises made to the people. NCP Supriya Sule objected to the all-powerful GST Council.
लेकिन ये धीरे-धीरे आप टैक्स रेट बढ़ाने के नाम पर और वो टैक्स कलेक्शन के नाम बारे में जो है खेती को और कृषि को ये डेफिनेशन के नाम पर आप उसको अंदर में लाने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, जो मेरे लिए मैं समझता हूं हमारे तरह देश के लिए ऐसे ही कृषि में समस्या है, ऐसे ही कृषि पिछड़ रहे हैं.
चाहे जितने आप एक्ट विधेयक लाइए, जब तक किसान संपन्न नहीं होगा, देश संपन्न नहीं होगा, ना आपकी मात्रा.
We are giving all these powers, which are parliamentary powers, to the council. So the powers are not with the state, they are not with the center, but finest legislations which are related to the nation.
The minister may now move that.
I move that the bill be passed.
The question is that the bill be passed. Those in favor may say aye. Those against may say no. I think the ayes have it. Ayes have it. The motion is adopted.
The government has to ensure that it gets Parliament's approval for all 4 bills by the 12th of April to be able to meet the July 1st launch date. With Ravindra Singh, Pranav Goswami's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi hailed the passage of GST supplementary bills by the Lok Sabha. Well, in a tweet soon after the legislations were passed, he said, "Congratulations to all the countrymen over the passage of the GST bills. New year, new law, new Bharat." Unquote. Well, the Central GST Bill 2017, the Integrated GST Bill 2017, the GST Compensation to States Bill 2017 and the Union Territory GST Bill 2017 were passed after negation of a host of amendments moved by the opposition parties. While replying to the 7-hour-long debate, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said that the GST, which will usher in a uniform indirect tax regime in the country, will make commodities slightly cheaper.
Have been passed by the Lok Sabha, and New India concept he gave, and on a new year, new tax regime has been unfolded for the benefit of 125 crore people of India. One country, one tax has become a reality.
GST or the government in their own wisdom, they will decide that nothing will constitute these taxes collected under the GST will not constitute the consolidated fund. You know, this can be a disaster in the economy or the financial anarchy in the country. I think in a hurry to pass a bill or hurry to take credit on the GST.
And the finance bill was returned to Lok Sabha by the upper house on Wednesday with amendments moved by the opposition members. Well, in his reply to the debate, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley sought to assort all the concerns that were raised by the members.
Replying to the debate on the finance bill, which saw severe criticism by opposition members regarding amendments to the Income Tax Act, the finance minister said the motive is to protect the informant.
If tomorrow a court asks us, Income Tax Department always gives it to the court. This is the reason why we search the man, if the court wants to be satisfied. It's not held back from the court. But in the tax appeal proceedings, nobody will ask for this note. This is not held back from courts. It's a protection as far as information with regard to offences is concerned.
On the issue of electoral reforms, the finance minister assured the House that the new norms will ensure more transparency in electoral funding.
This arrangement would also have some advantage coming to those parties which are not in power, because the consequences of disclosure of identity, which the donors have been worried about, would not be visiting them in this arrangement. And therefore, this entire comment which is being made that this is being devised by you to help a ruling party, the truth is to the contrary. The ruling party has to be large-hearted to really frame a scheme under which people would be, without fear of consequences, willing to give it to somebody who's not in power.
Several members raised questions on the protection of Aadhaar information, prompting the minister to say that the Act has enough provisions to ensure this is taken care of.
The larger question that is being raised, and I think you should answer, how will you protect the privacy of transactions in bank accounts? How will you protect the privacy of facts, material in the income tax returns?
What is the protection? What is the protection? Does anybody making public an Aadhaar number of somebody else? Is there any law to prevent? What is the protection?
Congress MP Digvijay Singh and CPIM MP Sitaram Yechuri did not withdraw their amendments to the finance bill, and the House finally adopted the amendments after division of votes. The finance bill was then returned to the lower house with amendments. Vishal Dahiya, Rajya Sabha TV, Delhi.
And Rajya Sabha may take up the discussion on the delay in filing of vacancies in statutory commissions for SCs, STs, backward classes and minorities on Thursday, that is today. For the third day in a row, the issue was raised by the opposition members in the upper house on Wednesday.
As the House met for the day, Samajwadi Party leader Ram Gopal Yadav once again raised the issue of delay in filling up of vacancies in statutory commissions. He also tendered a notice under Rule 267 seeking setting aside of business of the day to take up the discussion on the issue.
राम गोपाल जी ये ठीक है आपने दिया है 267 लेकिन इस पर चर्चा कराने के लिए टाइम तो आप सुनिए ओके आई अंडरस्टूड
BSP leader Mayawati also demanded reconstitution of the commissions and accused the government of making them ineffective.
ST OBC और माइनॉरिटीज कमीशन का जो मामला है जिसको इन्होंने केंद्र की सरकार ने निष्प्रभावी बना दिया है पूरे तौर से
वही इसके बारे में बोला डिस्कशन होना है
आप गंभीरता से लीजिए और इसको अल्पकालीन चर्चा से काम नहीं चलेगा सरकार को जवाब देना होगा ठोस जवाब देना होगा सरकार को बताना होगा कि ये जो कमीशन है तो इनको इन्होंने निष्प्रभावी क्यों बनाया हुआ है अभी तक इनके पद खाली क्यों पड़े हुए हैं.
The chair, however, disallowed the opposition notice, urging members to give notice for a short duration discussion.
Misra ji also had given notice, and on behalf of Misra ji, Kumari Mayawati also raised this issue. From this side also Punia raised this issue. I know that, but then what I said is, I said very clearly that 267 notice is not admitted, rejected. However, if you want, give another notice.
Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi said the government was ready to reply to any discussion on the issue and reiterated that the vacancies could not be filled up as the model code of conduct for assembly elections was in force.
माननीय राम गोपाल जी ने कहा है कि इस पर जो है वो इस मुद्दे पर चर्चा हो, इस मुद्दे पे जो है विस्तार से, तो हम हर चीज का जवाब देने को तैयार हैं और उस पे जो इस संबंध में नियमों के तहत जो नोटिस देंगे और वो चेयर को तय करना है, चेयर तय करे, उसमें नियमों के तहत चर्चा होनी है, उसमें हम लोग जवाब देने को तैयार हैं.
The opposition has been accusing the government of weakening the constitutional bodies. The government denies all charges and has assured the House of filling up the vacancies soon. The stalemate had disrupted proceedings of the House on Monday and washed out proceedings on Tuesday as well. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, staying with Rajya Sabha, as the drought-hit Tamil Nadu farmers continue to protest in the national capital. Now, members cutting across party lines expressed concern over farmers' distress in the upper house on Wednesday. While responding to the concerns, the government assured that coverage of crop insurance was being increased, but it gave no assurance on a loan waiver for farmers of that state.
As Tamil Nadu battles with the worst ever drought in the state in 140 years, with a 62% deficit rainfall, the upper house reiterated the demands of the state's drought-hit farmers on Wednesday. Union Minister Nirmala Sitharaman sought to allay the concerns of the members and asserted that 1,000 crore rupees have been released for disaster management. She also stressed that senior ministers of the government met delegations from Tamil Nadu on the distress faced by the farmers in the state.
I have a complete list of how much has been released by Government of India for Tamil Nadu. There has not been a denial of what has to be given. In fact, just one point I would like to draw your attention. In 2015-16, SDRF, NDRF, the National Disaster Relief monies which have to go to Tamil Nadu, 1,000 crores have been released as against the allocation under SDR. The point that I want to give here in front of all the members is the Government of India has been seeing all the delegation, whether it is of Neduvasan or for the farmers' agitation.
Earlier raising the issue through a zero-hour mention, Tiruchi Shiva of the DMK said that 200 farmers have committed suicide. He also demanded constitution of the Kaveri Management Board for water management and dispersal of insurance claims. Other members also demanded a waiver on crop loans.
Sir, what we request is Constitution of Kaveri Management Board and linking of rivers are very essential. Apart from that, waiver of loans is the foremost, and the banks are taking very stringent actions, strangling the already suffering farmers to repay the loans which they have already got. So instructions have to be given by the government to the banks that the farmers should not be squeezed to repay the loan.
They are agitating for more than 2 weeks, and they have met the president, they have met the finance minister, they have met the agriculture minister, and several MPs have met them. But their plight continues. They are asking for loan waiver. I make a concrete proposal to the government. Government can take a stand on loan waiver for the farmers.
Through you, I am appealing. You can waive the NPAs for rich corporates, but you can't waive loans for these poor farmers who are committing suicide. This is something that is not acceptable. And it's only a fraction of what you're waiving to the rich people. You waive this and save our Annadata, save Indian agriculture and Indian farmers. Otherwise, there's no future for my country. Sir.
The crisis in the agriculture sector in Tamil Nadu has reached mammoth proportions. Reports claim that since October last year, at least 2 farmers commit suicide every day. Since 14th of March, a group of 80-odd farmers from Tamil Nadu have been protesting at Jantar Mantar in Delhi, demanding financial relief as they've lost their crops and savings in the ongoing drought in the state. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
On to some other news now. Well, the Supreme Court on Wednesday banned the sale and registration of vehicles which are not compliant with the BS4 emission norms. Well, the ban will come into effect from 1st of April across the country. Well, the Apex Court said that the health of the people was far more important than the commercial interest of automobile manufacturers. Well, the Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers had earlier submitted data on manufacturing and sale of BS3 vehicles on a monthly basis from January 2016. Well, the organization told the court that the companies were holding stock of around 8.24 lakh such vehicles. Well, green bodies lauded the Supreme Court's decision, terming it as an acknowledgement to the public health crisis and a step in the right direction towards fighting air pollution. Now, environment groups say that a movement from BS3 to BS4 could lead to substantial reduction in a particulate matter emission. In Breakfast News, we'll take a very short break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
Welcome back after the break. A big story coming in from Uttar Pradesh. Well, 8 coaches of the Jabalpur Nizamuddin Mahakaushal Express has derailed in the wee hours today near Mahola station in Uttar Pradesh. Well, a Chief Public Relations Officer, North Central Railway, said that according to initial reports, around 9 passengers of the Delhi-bound train were injured in the incident. He said that the accident relief train has also been rushed to the site and the injured have been given the first aid. Well, the CRPO also said that around 8 coaches from the rear side of the train derailed between Mahoba and Kulpahar stations. Well, senior officials, including the general manager of the North Central Railway, have rushed to the site and rescue operations are on. Well, the cause of the derailment is yet to be ascertained. Well, we'll continue tracking all those developments. Meanwhile, in a setback to the Kejriwal dispensation, now Lieutenant Governor Anil Bejal has directed that 97 crore rupees be recovered from the Aam Aadmi Party. the amount that was allegedly spent by the government on advertisements in violation of the Supreme Court directions. Well, Bejal also ordered an inquiry into the spending on advertisements projecting Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and his party. Now, he has also asked the Chief Secretary to fix responsibility in the matter. Well, the Aam Aadmi Party will have to reimburse the money within a month. Out of the 97 crore rupees incurred on advertisements, the government has reportedly paid 42 crore rupees to the ad agencies. Well, the move comes months after a centre-appointed three-member committee indicated that AAP government was misusing the exchequer money on advertisements. The committee, headed by former election Commissioner B.B. Tandon, was constituted last year by the IMB Ministry on the directions of the Supreme Court to address issues related to the content regulation in government advertising. Meanwhile, the Delhi Congress has welcomed the LG's decision and said that the amount recovered from Aam Aadmi Party can now be used for various welfare projects in Delhi. And Malaysian Prime Minister Mohammed Najib Tun Razak will today arrive in India for a 5-day visit. Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that India will be delighted to welcome Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak to the country, adding that his counterpart's visit will boost bilateral relations between the two nations. Well, the Malaysian Prime Minister will start his visit from Chennai, and on 31st of March he will reach Delhi. Now, both the Prime Ministers are expected to hold substantive talks on 1st of April that are expected to cover a range of issues, particularly focusing on enhancing business ties. Well, it is the end of March, but cities and towns across several states in the country are already witnessing severe heat wave conditions. Well, the Met Department on Wednesday said that the heat wave conditions prevailed over most parts of Uttar Pradesh, with the Varanasi and Agra recording the highest temperature of 41.4 degrees Celsius. The maximum temperature in Allahabad and Hamirpur also crossed 40 degrees Celsius. Not just that, the temperature in Bhira in Maharashtra reached a record maximum as it recorded 46.5 degrees Celsius, which was 7 degrees above normal. Now, Akola in Maharashtra also recorded 44.1 degrees Celsius. Barmer in Rajasthan recorded a high of 43.4 degrees, while Narnaul in Haryana recorded 42 degrees Celsius, which was 9 degrees above normal. Ludhiana in Punjab also recorded 7 degrees above normal temperature, that is 36.7 degrees. Well, it was a hot day in Delhi as well, as it recorded 6 degrees above normal temperature at 38.2 degrees Celsius. Temperature in Dehradun as well as Srinagar was recorded much above the normal for this part of the year as well. And heat wave conditions also prevailed in almost 80% of Madhya Pradesh, as the highest temperature of 42.9 degrees Celsius was recorded in Hoshangabad district. The IMD forecast has said that the heat wave conditions will continue here as well as in Gwalior, Chambal, Rewa, Sagar and Ujjain districts and the surrounding regions in the next 24 hours as well. And heat wave conditions also prevailed in Gujarat and Saurashtra Kutch regions. A maximum temperature of 42.9 degrees Celsius was recorded at Amreli, followed by 42 degrees Celsius at Surendranagar and Kandla. Well, Ahmedabad city reported a maximum temperature of 41.8 degrees Celsius. And on to international news now. Well, there were celebrations with some pro-EU protests as well at Westminster after British Prime Minister Theresa May triggered Article 50, officially kicking off Britain's exit negotiations from the European Union. Well, Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty gives both sides 2 years to reach an agreement. That means that unless there is an extension, the UK will leave on 29th of March 2019. Well, the 2-year exit process was triggered formally as a UK official handed over the letter to EU Council President Donald Tusk. Well, Prime Minister May described the moment as historic, from which there can be no turning back. Well, having formally triggered Brexit, the ministers are now promising a smooth and stable transition, with the UK government looking to pass the Great Repeal Bill for the same. Well, the details of the bill, which aims to convert EU law into domestic legislation, will be published today.
After all, most Europeans, including almost half the British voters, wish that we would stay together, not drift apart. As for me, I will not pretend that that I'm happy today. Paradoxically, there is also something positive in Brexit. Brexit has made us, the community of 27, more determined and more united than before.
In Brussels, the United Kingdom's permanent representative to the EU handed a letter to the President of the European Council on my behalf, confirming the government's decision to invoke Article 50 of the Treaty on European Union. The Article 50 process is now underway, and in accordance with the wishes of the British people, the United Kingdom is leaving the European Union. This is an historic moment from which there can be no turning back.
On to news from the Middle East, Turkey has called an end to its 8-month-long military operation in Syria, declaring Operation Euphrates Shield a success. Well, Turkish Prime Minister Binali Yildirim made the announcement at a meeting of the country's Security Council. Well, a statement at the end of the meeting said that the operation had achieved its goals of securing Turkey's border against Islamic State terrorist attacks and letting civilians return to areas that the Turkish military now controls in northern Syria. However, it is not clear if the Turkish troops would leave Syria now. The announcement comes a day before Rex Tillerson, US Secretary of State, meets President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Well, it is said to be a tense encounter as there are indications that America is likely to exclude Turkey from military operations to liberate the IS stronghold of Raqqa. Remember, Turkey launched the offensive last August to push Islamic State militants away from its border and also to stop the advance of local Kurdish fighters. Now, Ankara fears that Kurdish fighters will establish self-ruling territories similar to Iraq's autonomous Kurdish region. Turkey's relations with the US has strained because of the US backing of the Kurdish militia there. On to some sports news now. Well, star Indian shuttler Saina Nehwal and PV Sindhu reached the second round at the Indian Open with comfortable victories in their opening matches. Well, Saina Nehwal, a 2015 winner, beat Chinese Taipei's Chia Hsin Lee 21-10, 21-17, while PV Sindhu eased past compatriot Arundhati Pantwane 21-17, 21-6. In the men's singles, Samir Verma caused an upset by defeating fourth-seeded Korean Son Van Ho 21-17, 21-10. Sai Pranitha and Saurabh Verma also cleared the first round hurdle to advance to the next round. Meanwhile, in the women's doubles, Ashwini Ponappa and N.S. Siki Reddy defeated the England pair of Gabrielle Adcock and Jessica Pogue in straight sets. And Pakistani fast bowler Mohammad Irfan has been banned for a year by the Pakistan Cricket Board in a case relating to PSL corruption scandal. Well, the 34-year-old was slapped with a ban after he admitted to have failed in reporting a spot-fixing approach by bookmakers during the Pakistan Super League. He can, however, return after 6 months if he assists the PCB in their ongoing investigations into the scandal. Now, Irfan was one of the 3 players suspended along with Sharjeel Khan and Khalid Latif following an anti-corruption investigation. Well, his ban is effective from the day when he was provisionally suspended, that is on 14th of March. Well, that's all in this edition of Breakfast News. Thanks for watching. Have a great day ahead.